Ooh, hey.
Hey.
What are you wearing?
Oh, this is my new Into the AM shirt. You like it?
Oh, I love it.
Nice. You know, you can get your own if you go to intotheam.com. You enter the code CBU10, that's CBU10, you get 10% off of your whole order.
I think I'm just going to take yours.
Oh, like that.
Yep.
Hey guys, Into the AM has a complete line of outerwear. Go to intotheam.com and check out their complete line of shorts and shirts. You're going to eventually come across my stuff. Now, if you find the stuff that you like, feel free to purchase all you want. Just use the promo code CBU10, that's CBU10. You're going to get 10% off your entire order, or even a subscription service. intotheam.com/CBU10. And yes, my wife really did steal that shirt. Hey guys, Comic Book University. Professor Bill coming at you, and I brought Warda.
I'm here.
What happened to hello?
Because I've been walked in a fans.
Oh, come on. But we're laughing with you, not at you.
I heard that before. Keep it going.
Really? Were you like a nerd in school?
Yeah.
Oh, man. It's all good. It's all good. It's fine. I married you anyway. I decided to bless you with my presence.
You know what? Sure, whatever.
Anyway, so episode 45.
Episode 45.
Not too shabby. We're moving along. We're trucking right through. Yeah. We got a fairly packed one this week.
This has been a very busy week.
Yeah, right?
Like, even I was sucked into it this week.
Right? Exactly. Usually you're just like, yeah, talk about whatever you want. I'll just look at your notes. This time you're like, no, I'm going to do a little bit of research.
Yeah, I had to.
I've got pretty much nothing on Zack Snyder or Ray Fisher. Go figure. Yeah, like it's everything else.
It's been slow on that end.
Which, surprisingly, that's usually like the biggest news.
Yeah.
And they're just like, I'm just going to try and fade out this week. It was probably smart. This is a bad week. Like, as 2020's ending, all the bad stuff, like, they got to just try and sneak in a little bit more. Like, we got to get out of here because 2020 got to be good.
Exactly.
Oh, man. Starting off with some actual potentially good news, depending on which side you're on. All of the 2021 movies from the WWB are actually going to simultaneously go to digital as well as movie theaters. Remember last week we were talking about, they said they were going to do it just for Wonder Woman.
Yeah.
And Netflix actually posed $200 million for Godzilla versus King Kong. Wow. And WB said, no. It's going to release in theaters.
Yeah. I remember.
And remember what I said, right? That's bullshit. It's going to go to theaters and HBO Max. Guess what this week? That's one of the movies.
Okay.
So first, let's really quickly look at what all of those movies are. There's 17 of them. The Suicide Squad, The Matrix 4, Dune, big time. Godzilla versus King Kong, like I said. Oh, I'm a genius. Space Jam: A New Legacy. Look, it's partially a booty movie, the original Space Jam. Remember the half cartoon, half real with Michael Jordan, and he was...
Oh, God, really?
Yeah, that.
Wow.
No, that was a good movie. I don't care what anybody says. That was a really good movie. Larry Bird was in that movie. We got to watch it again one of these days, and I got to actually tell you about Larry Bird and how important Michael Jordan was to the world at the time.
Okay.
The whole I Like Mike, there were three Mikes. There was Michael Jordan, Mike Tyson, and Michael Jackson. So, and you don't know enough about Michael Jordan. Anyway, so Little Things is one of them. Judas and the Black Messiah. Tom and Jerry. Like that, Tom and Jerry's never going to die.
Yeah, of course.
Mortal Kombat. There's a new Mortal Kombat movie coming out. Those Who Wish Me Dead. The Conjuring. The Devil Made Me Do It. In the Heights. Reminiscence. Malignant. The Many Saints of Newark. Hey, so a New Jersey thing. King Richard. That's Richard the Lionheart. Richard III. And Cry Macho. So those three. Bang! Or excuse me, those 17, they're going to be simultaneously released in theaters and on digital streaming, namely HBO Max.
Okay. Okay. I mean, like, we don't have HBO Max, and I don't want to get another.
It doesn't come to Canada. It's only available in America.
In the States?
Yeah, that's it.
Annoying.
Exactly.
But honestly, even if it came to Canada, like, I'm streamed out. I'm just like, no more.
What about when the new Game of Thrones prequel comes?
I didn't even watch the last season, so...
We got to rectify that.
I know. It's been like, what now? Over a year,
Isn't
right?
on Not Crunchyroll.
Crave.
Crave.
It is on Crave. I think it is on Crave.
It's 6 lousy episodes. Knock the thing out.
I know that they went downhill, so like, and I love the show so much.
You know what also came out yesterday for us?
What?
Mulan.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's available now on Disney Plus. We've been waiting forever, and now
we can
it's
watch
like
it this weekend. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, tomorrow.
Yeah, absolutely. So, what do you call it? Anyway, yeah, so they also, when they did that, they also released what the logos for all the movies are going to be like. They're fairly basic. It's what we all expected them to be for the most part. The Matrix one is reminiscent of the first Matrix movie, so which is very plain. It was the movie itself that was going to wow you, not the logo. So I'm okay with that. Let's see what it looks like. The actors are saying it was amazing. Joe Russo, who's one of the Russo brothers who directed the Avengers movie, the last two Avengers movie and the Captain America Civil War and all that. Wait, was Civil War? Yeah, I think they directed Civil War also, but the first one was Winter Soldier, which is greatest movie in my opinion in the MCU. He thinks that this is the future of all media because DC or Warner Brothers is saying they're only going to do this for 2021. And it was a surprise announcement. They actually only gave the movie theaters 1 hour notice before they made it public.
Yeah.
So which was, we're going to talk about that because they're the biggest opponents of this.
Of course.
But, yeah, Joe Russo is like, no, this could actually be the future of cinema, the future of viewing videos, the future of media, because it gives people a choice. You know how it used to work in the past is always the idea like the movie theaters were like, we need exclusives.
Yeah.
You will exclusively release it only here, nowhere else. In fact, I reported several months ago that when Trolls 2 World Tour came out, there was an individual idea that, hey, for this specific movie, and the movie theaters signed off on it, we will, this is from DreamWorks Animations, which is under Universal Studios, Universal Pictures. They said, hey, we're going to release this on digital because the movie theaters are closed now and we really want to put this out. And the movie wound up making a butt ton of money. That's an actual unit of measurement, butt ton. It means a whole lot.
A butt ton. Okay.
So it made a butt ton worth of money. And they're like, oh, cool. And then somebody in Universal Pictures came out and said, probably going to do this for a bunch of other stuff too. And it's literally just a minor thing that he said. But AMC, which is actually owned by the Chinese government, was like, oh, really? Well, then from now on, we're putting a permanent ban on United Pictures, whatever.
I remember,
Yeah, their movies. So that's it. Done. Now you don't get to come to ours anymore. Because that was back when they thought they had power.
Yeah.
But now what? Oh, now the power dynamic has shifted.
Yeah.
And now they have zero power. In fact, the day that it was announced for them was the exact same day that they announced they were going to be selling $200 million worth of shares just to try and stay afloat.
Wow.
They said they're going to start selling those. But now those $200 million worth of shares, those 200 million shares, like, are they still going to be worth as much as they were yesterday?
Yeah.
They will not.
Yeah.
Which means they're going to be struggling even more. But this is what capitalism looks like. This is what the world looks like. And this is what fair play looks like. Hey, I got to look out for me. And hey, you wanted to talk big and bad to Universal Studios, therefore making a threat to all of the other studios. If you start trash with us, you're only going to be releasing on your streaming platforms.
Yeah.
And Universal was essentially the little dog because they don't have their own streaming platforms. Warner Brothers does. Disney does. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Sony, they could look directly towards Netflix. They don't care. The other ones don't care. They said, you know what? You want to make your little empty threats? I love this. I love this. Yeah. I love when somebody tries to act like a tough guy and all of a sudden, boom. Caught with your pants down, were you?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't want theaters to go out of business because...
Neither do I.
Yeah. Like, I like the whole hoopla of, like, going out and getting movies and stuff like that. I genuinely miss that about pre-COVID.
You just said today.
Yeah.
I miss going to the movie theaters.
I miss having that option at least. Like, I mean, like, in a year, I would go maybe 4 or 5 times, max. But
yeah, I would go more than you.
Yeah.
Because I would want to see all these, Marvel movies or superhero movies and then report on them.
Yeah, exactly. But at the same time, like, it's nice to have the option of having movie releases at home. Like, you can have parties at home. Like, the world is changing. Everything is changing. Like, Zoom has changed the way that I do work, right?
Yeah.
So everything is changing, but we'll see how that goes.
Yeah, no doubt. I don't know. For me, at the end of the day, I look at it as, much like Joe Russo said, it can be made better. You see, the whole capitalistic mentality of, hey, look, here's, we've got an exclusive. Mm-hmm. We're here. You can only go through movie theaters first. We are the gatekeepers.
Yeah.
You want to watch it on DVD? Sure. We'll let you release it, and you can watch it on DVD in a couple of months, but right now you have to come to theaters to watch it. Yeah. If that's the only way you were ever able to make money, you were literally standing on a very precarious precipice of success. Mm-hmm. Because once it's no longer in the best interest of the people providing those movies, as is now, you are done for. So now they have to start trying to make deals.
But that's monopoly, right? Like,
absolutely.
That's the whole, how does Amazon work? It's because they got everybody else by the balls, essentially. Yeah. Can I say those things on here?
I guess you can.
Okay. That's how it works. Like, they're mega, what is it called? They're huge enough. Same thing with Walmart, all of these places. So it's like, the minute things shift, then they no longer have that power, and now they have to figure themselves out all over again, as in back in the days when they were growing.
Yeah. Yeah, when Amazon was just Amazon Books.
Yeah.
Right? No, at the end of the day, I look at it as you have to constantly update. You have to constantly change. If not, you go the way of Kmart. You go the way of Sears. You go the way of Bradley's. You go the way of Caldor. There are a bunch of people out there right now going, what are some of these stores you're even talking about? Yeah, these are people who did not even consider to adapt with the times. And this is the payment that they get for it. They get completely shafted. Now they have to start. I can't
believe I'm gonna say this, but that's the beauty of capitalism, right?
No, absolutely.
Like, it kills the inefficient, and the efficient is what survives.
Yeah.
As in, what people want.
And not even just efficient, but the people who can find the different ways. And
yeah.
Unfortunately, that winds up destroying labor. Look, I'm not for capitalism, not against capitalism. I simply look at it as another leg of the way that the world works right now.
Yeah.
So have we ever had a purely socialistic government that has ever existed? No, we haven't. So we don't know if it's actually going to work or not. No. You know what I'm saying? But we do have capitalism, and this is just the way that it works. So, hey, honestly, maybe consider making deals. Not even just side deals, but some kind of deal where you say, hey, if you come to the movie theater, you get this. Hey, if you come to the movie theater, you get that. Make individual deals, as movie theaters with everything like, popcorn deals or special merchandise deals, whatever it is that you're going to do. Get this merchandise if you have a movie ticket. Something along those lines.
They probably will, and they probably will.
I hope they do think of this.
Yeah.
I hope they think of better ideas than what I'm thinking right off the top of my head.
Yeah, they have to incentivize people to come in through the doors.
There's the word.
Yeah.
Yeah. In fact, I think that you just used that again earlier today, and I wasn't thinking of that word.
Oh, yeah? Okay.
Yeah, earlier in the day, you said incentivize the word you're looking for. I was like, yes, actually it is.
Well, you were talking to the kids about something. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. So I said you have to make it lucrative. It's like I'm trying to teach them lucrative. Anyway, so Pedro Pascal, this is for the Wonder Woman 1984 movie coming out, which is the first one that was a part of this. He is apparently going to be hamming it up, according to him, which basically means he's going to be getting obnoxious and, really playing to the cameras and, being silly. When I get really silly, I'm hamming it up.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
I haven't heard that before, but okay.
Really? Okay. Mm-hmm. Anyway, so he's going to be playing this character called Maxwell Lord. Maxwell Lord is a character in the comic books, the DC comics, that has the ability to use telepathy and mind control and control other characters and whatnot. And every time he uses powers, his nose bleeds. So he's got to tell. You know what I'm saying? And he's a very evil character.
Oh, okay.
He's one of the very few characters who Wonder Woman has actually murdered. Not just, it had to have, no, she straight up, she knew what she was doing. She murdered him.
Wow.
It was a big deal. Wonder Woman doesn't like to kill. Batman and Superman don't kill. Wonder Woman doesn't like to kill, but she will if she has to. It's one of the beautiful things about her character. You know, she's very pragmatic. As far as, her killing of Maxwell Lord, yeah, I don't think anybody's going to say it wasn't justified, and it led to a lot of great stories and whatnot. But he was a very serious character. He was a very dangerous character. He was a genuine threat. In this, when I hear Pedro Pascal saying, I'm hamming it up.
I see. Okay.
Yeah. It's one of those weird kind of things where here's the comic book guy who knows the canon, who knows the source material of where this is coming from. And I can't say if it's going to work or not going to work with non-comic book fans, which is going to be the majority of the audience going to see this movie. But I can say,
I know.
I'm not going into this with good thoughts.
Yeah, doing the character right.
Right.
Justice.
The movie is going to be 2 hours and 31 minutes long. That is 10 minutes longer than the previous Wonder Woman movie. The longest movie that DC put out is actually Batman vs. Superman. And I'm not talking about the extended version. I'm talking about the theatrical release. This movie, Wonder Woman 1984, is 1 minute shorter than that.
Yeah, I don't get why they make them so long, but okay.
Neither do I. Well, at the same time, I can't help but to think, 2.5 hour movie plus a minute. I'm really happy I get to watch this at home.
True. You can pause.
I can pause. I can make my own intermission whenever I want. Hey, man, you want that theatrical experience? Go for it. But that home experience is, we're going to see what customers prefer.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Not just next year, but in all the years to come. We're going to see what customers actually prefer. So, hey. Okay, we're going to move on to some more somber news right now. The death of Shuri. So Letitia Wright, this made some pretty big headlines.
I mean, when did it come out? Yesterday? From our perspective, Friday?
For us, it came out Friday. That she was sharing some video of this dude. I'm not going to advertise this guy because he's a jackass. He's a super cultist level evangelical. So he's not just regular, he's like cultist level evangelical. He's got all these weird beliefs. I wouldn't be surprised if he was a flat earther. But he, basically he's talking about, we got to return to God. We got to trust our gods. I don't trust vaccinations. If you believe that these things, will go away, then it's like, it's believing away the devil. It's really good. So that's what you really need. And putting things in our body that we don't know are there. And it's like, okay, you're a psycho. But as far as Letitia doing this, all she did was share a video, and she put up a couple questions here and there. Nothing like, there's people saying this is dangerous, what she's saying and whatnot. I don't necessarily see this.
Because she has a platform and yada, yada, yada.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But she says, I don't understand vaccines medically, but I've always been a little bit skeptical of them. Yeah, I'm not finding anything terrible about that.
I could have said that, and I say that all the time.
Yeah, no, precisely.
Yeah.
I remember when you were doing a lot of research.
With the kids.
Yeah, when our first child was born, and I was already like,
forget that.
We're vaccinating the kids.
Even the second kid.
Are you serious?
Yeah, even both of them. I was super slow with the way that I did it. I had a lot of conversation. Thankfully, their pediatrician is my pediatrician was that when I was a kid. So
someone you trust.
He's someone that I trust, right?
Besides me.
And he's been very he's been very supportive. He's been very yeah, sure, okay, let's bring them in for this, that. You know what I mean? So I get where she's coming from. I'm not going to jump into the COVID vaccine and be first in line. I got to wait what happens to all of you people first, It's I'm not first in line.
Well, I'm not going to lie. I won't be first in line either.
Yeah.
See, Bill Gates has talked about, and unfortunately this video has been taken down, and several videos have been taken down where people are saying, listen, get the vaccine, as I'm saying, get the vaccine, but understand there's going to be some discomfort. There are people who've been going through, when I got the flu vaccine, the flu shot, my arm hurt for a day.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It was a little annoying. It's like, that's a little weird. I'm not used to that happening. Freaky, right? But this is supposed to be like 80% of the people actually experience real pain throughout their body. You know what I'm saying? Stuff like that. It's like it's not going to come free of charge, so to speak. It's going to hurt.
And vaccine accidents happen. Like, that's just, it happens, right? I mean, it's not a significant proportion of people that it happens to.
Well, there's not a lot of people who really listen to their doctors or the people administering this. They'll say, after you get their vaccine, stick around for 10 minutes.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Stick around for 10 minutes because they say this because they want to see if there's going to be any side effects. If there are, they can right away get medical treatment.
Yeah.
They can see if you're allergic or something, your body's just rejecting you. So like they say, stick around for 10 minutes. If you're okay for 10 minutes, you go home. You're probably going to be okay. If not, well, hey, just know you got a vaccine today, so take a look into it. So yeah, I'm 100% for vaccines. But it should be understood that this is not going to come, no problem. It's going to hurt getting these because the thing was fast-tracked.
Of course, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Dr. Fauci himself, he was a little upset at Britain for fast-tracking it the way they did. And then guess what happened? They shut Fauci up.
Oh, okay.
They told Dr. Fauci, the beloved Dr. Fauci, shut up.
They're saying that in the U.S. to him?
And yes, and he obeyed.
Okay.
So this is coming from Biden's team, the incoming, we assume, the incoming government administration, I should say. They actually told him, shut up. And like a good little dog, old man, a doctor, whatever the hell he thinks he is, he actually shut his mouth.
So his criticism was that it was going too fast?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. There's like two or three of them. Something like that, 2 or 3 vaccines that have come out right now?
2. One by Pfizer, the other one by somebody else. I can't remember who.
Something with an M, I think.
Yes.
Anyways.
Medicor or something like that.
Yeah.
Anyway, this is the world that we live in. Say what I want you to say, or you are canceled. You don't think they're going to cancel? They threatened to cancel Fauci because he was already told, "Hey, we're gonna keep Fauci on the administration." But as soon as he said, "Hey," they threatened him, and he quieted down really quick.
You know the thing that surprised me? It didn't surprise me, actually. Don Cheadle, did you see how he responded to her?
Actually, it's right here. Jesus, just scrolled through because somebody sent him the thing. Hot garbage. Every time I stopped and listened to this guy's video, he and everything he said sounded crazy and effed up. I would never defend anybody posting this, talking about Letitia, but I still won't throw her away over it. I don't understand this part. The rest, I'll take off Twitter. Had no idea. I don't know what that nonsense is supposed to mean. I think we're supposed to speak English in this country.
But the second thing that he posts was something like, by Letitia. As in like, by Felicia. So he is throwing her out.
Wow.
So, and like, remember...
Wait, no. Did that really happen? I have to verify this. I have to verify this because I've had people who have lied before here and not happy with that. No, I don't see that.
Keep going down?
There's nothing to go down for. That's the top, right? Oh, right? Kind of like it doesn't make any sense, huh? When somebody says, I don't know what the hell.
Okay.
Oh, somebody deleted the tweet.
Shoot, I should have taken a picture of it.
You should have. You always take a picture of stuff that you want to. Because he got to him. Yeah, he just keeps on talking. Duck, 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 duck. He's really upset. Here's the thing that kills me about it. At the end of the day, she is 27 years old.
Okay.
She's 27 years old. She's a baby. Like the human brain stops developing at around 25 years old. So she's really only for the past 2 years or so has she been able to actually start truly consolidating her thoughts. I mean, like, this is why we say kids are stupid. All kids are stupid. Every single kid out there is stupid. You know what I'm saying? And I mean that from an old man point of view. Kids are stupid. And then they grow up. You get kids, they're going to, jump on, I get kids sometimes who jump on my Twitter feed. I get kids who jump on my live streams or whatever, and they'll try and, oh, hey, stupid, whatever. And it's like, you're obviously a kid. I hope you feel better.
Yeah.
Well, I'm not going to, hold it against them. Yes, they're stupid. You know what I'm saying? But come on. They're just looking for some kind of reaction because they're just dumb kids. She clearly, like, she's not even doing that. She clearly doesn't mean any malice by this. But she's not saying what, quote unquote, we want her to say. Therefore, they're going to try and cancel her. Yeah, exactly. She's an anti-vaxxer. No, she has questions. And attacking someone like this is only going to push them further and further into their beliefs. That's the only thing that has ever happened when you do something like this. Did she shut
down her Twitter, right?
No, she deleted that tweet. She's still on Twitter.
Okay.
She's just as of this time. She's just ignoring a lot of it. She's saying, like, guys, I didn't mean to, like, try and hurt anybody or try and push anything. Like, well, you have a platform and blah, 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 blah. It's like, yeah, so what? She's still a kid. She's still young. Stop trying to take her life away from her.
I don't see her as a kid per se, but I don't see what her posting, forwarding that one guy's video was kind of creepy, but like the questions that she had.
She's religious. And personally, I'm not into religions. You know that. You know what I'm saying? I've studied pretty much all of them. I can usually tell people about their religions better than they can and actually quote and point to the parts in their doctrines that say so. But it doesn't change the fact that it's still a religion. It's going to sound rude, but it's pretty much, there's a reason why cults always form around religions. They don't usually form around much else. They can, but it's usually around religions. You know, oh, the mighty comet Hale-Bopp is coming. We've got to kill ourselves in order to go and jump on the mothership. Really? You enjoy. Tell me, write me a postcard.
Not that I 100% agree with you or what I'm about to say, but I was recently reading religions were made to control people.
Yes.
And for people who are afraid of death. To comfort those that are afraid of death.
Ozzy Osbourne. Well, I know that you would love to go to heaven, but you know that you're just too afraid to die.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's one of those things.
Yeah, let's go back to Letitia Wright, though. I think it's really fussed. I think it's really fussed the way that, the amount of heat that she's gotten. Like, there's a lot surrounding it that I don't understand and I don't know. But, like, I'm seeing even a lot of black people ripping her to pieces. And I'm just like, dang, okay. Like, I don't get it.
I'm going to say a word that you've never heard me say before. All right? And you be honest and tell the audience if you've ever heard me say this word before. The word is coon. Are you even familiar with that word?
No, I don't know.
That is a word that, being African, not African American, you're not familiar with all of the racist words that are used by people. Coon is a word, sounds like raccoon, because raccoons have the black mask looking thing around their eyes. So it's a word that's used against black people. Well, it used to be used against black people. I think that, like, you got to go into the bowels and the recesses of the world today in order to find someone in America who's willing to actually say something like that, even amongst their friends. I couldn't imagine somebody saying that today, but I'm always unpleasantly surprised. Anyway, that is a word used by black people today, not white people, black people, to rein in their own on Twitter. They've been saying it a lot about Terry Crews.
Okay.
You remember from
I
Brooklyn Nine-Nine? Yeah. Oh, guys, we've been watching Brooklyn Nine-Nine.
Really fun show.
You freaking got to me. Damn it. Anyway,
yeah.
You were right. It's a really good show we can't stop watching. And there's a lot of seasons to catch up on, damn it. Anyway, they've been using it against Terry Crews because he says things that, he says, like, I'm not a really huge fan of supporting Black Lives Matter as it stands because, like, I agree, but there's some things I don't agree with. And right away, like, and they start using that word against him and things. And it's like, dude, are you freaking kidding me?
So people are using that against Letitia now?
Yeah.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, it's one of those threats. It's like, do what we say or we're going to call you these names that white racists used to always call you. I'm sorry, the world is garbage right now. Yeah. With Twitter, with, let's be realistic, stupid kids getting a hold of Twitter and having a loud voice. These are things where if some moron said this to his or her friend, it would die right there. It would just be a couple little things right there, blah, blah, blah. It wouldn't get out into the world that this is what we call these people nowadays. Like, this is like using the Uncle Tom term. You've heard that one before.
That I know, yeah.
This is one of those things where it's like, to call somebody name because you get out of line with the rest of us is absolutely atrocious. I understand this kind of seems like it's me talking out of turn. White person, stay in your lane. No, I'm not going to stay in my lane. Because just like I'm not black and yet we march in Black Lives Matters marches, I'm also going to march against this here on this platform. No, this is wrong. And anybody, this is known. When you make personal attacks against someone, you only do that because you've lost the conversation. And you don't have anything else. These people are reprehensible. They are despicable lowlives who use these terms that were used by white racists back in the day to put people down. This is a word that has pretty much died. And these pieces of human trash have sifted through the garbage heaps to find this word and resurrect it. I hope these people have the equivalent of soap in their mouths for years to come. I genuinely hope that they are shamefaced from this point on and that they literally lose their ability to speak on these social platforms at some point, because this is the worst that I could possibly imagine. Reining in your own like they're sheep to be herded. And these are stupid little children trying to tell grown-ass adults how to act. Nope, wrong answer. You done lost it. You lost your minds that they think that this is okay. I don't care who it is. I don't care color, gender. I don't care any of that nonsense. Right is right. Wrong is wrong. You could question some right. But you know wrong when you see it. This is wrong.
No, it is kind of bullying. It is bullying.
It is kind of. Yeah, 100% bullying. Let's move on to something else. Cancel culture. You remember her?
I remember her.
Amber Heard?
Yeah.
Are you curious to see what the change.org petition is now?
I know, it's been ballooning.
Let's watch that number. Dear God.
1.7
million plus. And it before our eyes, it's still increasing. That's how many signatures against this woman.
Yeah.
The court cases aren't even out yet.
Yeah.
I don't know. Are they being delayed? I don't know. It's one of those things. But you got to admit, Depp is putting out what he can.
Yeah.
She's not putting out anything. Now, maybe she's saving these big-time whammies. I don't know. Maybe he's got video of her beating the crap out of her. I don't know.
Yeah.
But the only video I've seen of him acting violent is her hiding his medication from, going on withdrawal.
Yeah.
And watching go on a temper tantrum, and not even a temper tantrum, whatever, kicking furniture far away from her. And she's secretly recording stuff. It's disgusting. Disgusting seeing this stuff. Oh, man. I don't know. Is it worth it? Is it not worth it? I don't know.
Don't get involved.
Nope.
Let the court deal with it. 1.7 million people are misguided people. That's what I see it as. Possibly.
Or it's people who've just simply looked into it more than us. I don't know. I'm not here to judge like all that,
There is no way anybody is going to be privy to all the details, and therefore is going to be subjectively able to decide who is guilty and who isn't guilty.
Well, this is true, but at the same time, the Jerry Weinstein stuff. There was plenty of information about him. True. Plenty of people, including us, we judged him, and we were right.
Yeah.
There's the way that you act when you're accused of something.
True.
Johnny Depp, when he was accused of something, was like, really? Well, here's all of this.
Yeah. Okay.
So,
fine.
Depends.
I'll put a pin on it.
There we go. How about Elliot Page? I saw this trending on Twitter, and I'm like, who the hell is Elliot Page? Turns out it's the former Ellen Page. there's this thing called dead naming. I know there's going to be people who are going to be pissed off at me and call me a TERF or whatever they're going to call me because I dared to dead name her. Her name, or excuse me, his name, it's a he now. Or he's come out as a he. He used to be called Ellen Page.
For context.
Yeah,
yes.
That's it. Boom. Nowadays, as of a couple days ago, he chooses to be referred to as Elliot Page. He says, my name is Elliot Page. I'm so glad that I've been able to get to this point. Little bit of a reference, not enough, to how much the people before him have, come forth and fought hard and struggled hard to make these things happen. Does mention also, like 40 people per year? I can't remember what it is. There's a couple people, 40 people per year.
I don't,
right?
Do you have it up or no? Like, I actually loved his, was it a tweet?
Yes.
Yeah, like, it was very heartfelt.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like, I'm excited for him. I'm curious how I can see that you have it written down, Umbrella Academy.
Yeah, he's going to continue playing Vanya in season 3 of Umbrella Academy. I didn't even know it got a green light for season 3. I don't watch Umbrella Academy. I saw the first season.
Yeah. I think my brother watches it.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, I'm looking for, like, to be honest, I don't watch the show, but I'm wondering how they're going to incorporate that, because that's the story that is going to be incorporated, right? So, yeah,
which is perfectly fine. And this, honestly, is great representation as far as I'm concerned. This isn't, some SJW-esque thing. Like, this is real. The actual actor has come out as a trans person, as a trans male. Hey, this is the reason why. It's not the only reason. This is one of the reasons why you can turn around and say, you know what? We got to make this character a trans person, a trans male now. Boom. There's no better reason than this, in my opinion. Unless you've actually got it. Yeah, no, seriously, there's no better reason than this. But another fairly good reason at the very least would be I've actually got a story that actually matters for this person to be a trans person, as opposed to just, I'm just going to throw this in. I'm going to keep on drawing focus to it just to cater to crowd. Like this, that's unnecessary. That's unnecessary to me.
I don't agree. I don't agree with you on that. Like,
yep, I know.
You have to make conscious effort for your work to be representative of people, especially the people who watch you, right? So when it comes to like sci-fi viewers, readers, watchers, whatever audience are very, very diverse. They've always been very, very diverse, but it hasn't been reflective of that. Like, I'm thinking of, and specifically right now, Discovery, and I can't remember the name of the character that this just happened in the last episode. The character finally came out as non-binary, right? So, like, so far, like, the 3 or 4 episodes that they've been in, they were being referred to as she, and then at some point, the character stops the person who was referring to them and said, you know what, I never felt comfortable with she. Refer to me as they. And from then on, they are they. And I think it's beautiful because, like, it wasn't cumbersome the way that it was revealed. It is going to be reflective of, and people who identify as trans can finally see themselves in a franchise that is theirs, or like, they grew up with, right? Like, for me,
Absolutely.
like, possibly. Like, I loved Ahura, and I forgot her name. Remind me, Whoopi Goldberg's character. Do you remember?
Oh, Whoopi Goldberg's character? Really? Yeah.
Yeah, I loved Whoopi Goldberg's character. She was eccentric.
It's been a long time. Yes, she did have a great character in the show. I'm sorry.
I'm not talking
today,
about
Whoopi
her.
Goldberg is just nowadays this person who used to be a progressive and now is just hard stance. No, corporations, they rule.
I know. She changed. I'm not talking about her. I'm talking about her character.
Yeah, her character back then, yes. I did actually love her character. So for me, like, as a black girl, right, like, I loved seeing those. So I'm assuming somebody who is non-binary or somebody who's trans who grew up with Star Trek, for example. Picard, he's the first captain to ever have an actual ship counselor on board, and he says, now I'm going to go talk to the bartender.
They all talk to the bartenders. Like, that was the quote-unquote.
Yeah.
So, anyways, like, you were talking about, like, representation not being forced.
Yes.
For me, I think representation needs to be forced, otherwise it doesn't happen.
No. When I say forced, what I mean is representation for the sake of representation as opposed to actually making these people matter.
Yeah, yeah.
Look, nobody forces a straight couple or a straight person to be on a television show.
Yeah, I know.
You know what I'm saying? But when you make someone in and just, constantly, like, nobody sits there and says, here, the character Michael in the TV show, it's not constantly referred, I'm straight, I'm a girl, my pronoun is she, blah, 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 blah. But if you keep on pushing that with another character, to me, it's like, okay, this is in my face.
Yeah.
This
it's
is
not
unnecessary.
Even that, like, it's not authentic. It doesn't flow. I know. There, and I can't believe I forgot their name. There is a YouTuber that I watch, something gender.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't care.
They talk extensively about Star Trek and so I listened to that. And they were talking about, this person is trans themselves. Mm-hmm. So they were talking about, some of the issues that they have with Discovery. And like one of the things that they're worried about is like, for example, the character, this character that just came out as non-binary has a boyfriend, and it's like, okay, the romantic concept of it, it's like, can a non-binary person just be non-binary without a romance element?
Oh, God, geez, sounds like the exact same thing that I say.
Hold on. Yeah. But also, like, the boyfriend is dead, right? And I didn't even realize this before, but, like, there's a trope in sci-fi and, like, in media where you'll have the gay, but you'll kill the gay, so it's like, kill your gays. Right? So it's like before we even meet this person. It's
like in horror movies. The black guy always dies first.
Yeah. And this person actually compares that to how in sorry.
I kind of want to watch an episode or two of this person. Yeah. Find it later for me.
Yeah.
So, yeah, there's that. There's, of course, the goofs online who want to sit there and, you can change your name, but you can't change your gender. You can't change this. You can't change that. I am so curious why some of these people are so interested in getting down somebody else's pants.
Yeah.
Perhaps they're not getting enough at home. I don't know. Perhaps they're bi-curious. I don't know.
No, people feel entitled to... like, we're so binary in our views of, like, humanity.
Of life, yeah.
Right?
100%.
So it's like not having enough etiquettes, not having enough sensitivity, not caring for the other person and seeing them as a person. Like if I see a person as a person, I'm not going to be invasive and ask them like super ridiculous questions. So...
yeah, it's just so odd to me why people care so much about these things. To the point of, it's not true. It's not true. It's not, you're not binary. You're not trans, or you're not this, or you're not that. How about you're not smart? Shut up.
My philosophy is like, you give me what you want me to call you. Cool, we're done. Right? Like, yeah. So, I know. Just respect people.
Yeah.
And I know I'm being very like...
shouldn't be that hard, right?
Yeah.
It's like, oh no, they want to be called they. Personally, like, me, with the English language, I think it's dumb, the term they. If that's what they want to be called, whatever. Like, to me, and this is not meant to be an insult. If somebody says, call me Blue, okay, sure. If I forget, don't get pissed off and try and cancel me like a moron.
But you're going to try.
But I'm going to make a conscious effort to try and remember. And if you correct me, I'm not going to be like, ugh. Yeah, okay, actually, like, it doesn't bother me. It's not that big of a deal. You have patience with me, I'll have patience also.
Yeah. Unfortunately, people who identify as non-binary, for example, they, who use that pronoun, are surrounded by idiots like us who find it hard, right? And we struggle with, like, I know that I've struggled.
I'm not an idiot. I'm actually registered as a genius.
Okay. So people like us who live in and grew up in a very binary world where everything is a he and or a she, we struggle with other pronouns. So they have
to... It's only because it's new. We're over 21 years old.
Yeah.
It's hard to learn new languages when you get older.
Yeah.
It's hard to change what you know as a language when you get older. Think of how long it took for ain't to happen. You remember ain't a word, so you ain't going to use it? Mm-hmm. How long did it take to get to today where, ain't's a word?
Yeah.
It took a long time.
Yeah.
So you got to remember, America, Canada, we are some of the most accommodating people in the world. Mm-hmm. You're going to get the holdouts. You're going to get the stalwarts. But for the most part, please show me another country that is so dedicated to saying, you're right. we were wrong. We're willing to say that we will take the blame for what our ancestors have done. Please try, do the French do that? They won't even do that in Quebec.
They don't do that now.
That's what I'm saying. They won't even do it in Quebec, at least off in France proper. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
These kind of things are still going on in South America. You want to go and look at Africa in general, still have, I don't know if you can call it racist, but they still have problems with each other's tribes. You know what I'm saying? It's like they look just like each other, and they still have a hard time with each other. And the exact same thing in Saudi Arabia and the Middle East, the same thing with the tribal arguments there. In India, the caste system has been illegal for how long? And yet it still exists. You know what I'm saying? In China, try speaking Cantonese in China. Guess what happens? Try being a Uyghur, and they were having some kind of a religion. Try saying, Taiwan, or Tibet. Or the Dalai Lama.
I don't want us to get into a conversation where we say, we are the best.
No. It's not about we are the best. We all suck. But at the same time, who is more accommodating? How many other countries do you go to where you're allowed to have street signs in another language? Now, granted, Canada doesn't do that. But in America, because in Canada, being bilingual, you're not bilingual. If you speak English and French English and Spanish and Portuguese and Mandarin and 16 different languages, technically, from the federal perspective, you technically only speak one language, English. Yeah. If you are bilingual in Canada, that means that you speak English and French. Yeah. Otherwise, you only speak English or French. There are no other languages, according to the federal government. They're not even interested in translating stuff for you for the most part. You have to submit official documentations in either English or French. Mm-hmm. In America, way different. Way different. You know what I'm saying? And that's the government. So we talk about systemic racism and things like that. Hi, wake up. Better than any other country on the face of the planet. I don't need to fight you on that. I'll absolutely show you proof after proof after proof. So again, I get it, but at the same time, slow down. We have stupid people all over the world. America and Canada is no different. But you find me somebody who's more accommodating. This is not exoneration. This is just a little bit of, we're bad, but pat on the back. We're getting pretty. Come on.
Fine.
Come on. So there's that.
And that is what Elliot was talking about
yes.
at the beginning of his tweet. So
yes. Boom. There you go. There you go.
Fine.
Let's move on to WandaVision.
Again?
What do you mean again?
I think this is the third time we're talking about it.
WandaVision?
Yeah.
The television show WandaVision.
Okay.
You're saying in this episode?
Not in this episode. I mean,
yeah, we talked about because Paul Bettany, the guy who plays the Vision, he simply said, hey, we've been talking about how these episodes are more like really short movies, just like the most recent episode of Mandalorian, where, somebody awesome from the past crawled out of a hole in the ground and came back and kicked a lot of butt. No spoilers, because there are going to be people who are going to be like, oh my God! But yeah, it happened, and it was freaking epic, and this did not feel like an episode. This felt like this is the new 7th movie.
It was like
Star
too
Trek.
short of a movie.
Yeah.
Like, I remember looking, I'm like, what? Just stopped? What?
Yeah. Yeah, it was amazing. Well, WandaVision, just the first episode alone, took 2 days to film. And it was in front of a live studio audience. Okay. One episode took 2 days. As opposed to knocking out one episode in one day or more.
Oh, I don't have a reference of how fast these things go. So.
Oh, these things go really fast. Like they usually for a sitcom or something like that, they'll wrap up the actual filming and the shooting in front of a live studio. It's like Friends back in the day and whatnot. Yeah. In a couple of weeks, done, and that's a whole season.
Okay.
Yeah. So in this particular case, 2 days for one episode. Oof, the quality on this has got to be amazing.
Where is it coming out at? On?
It's coming out on the 15th of January.
Where? Do you remember?
Disney Plus.
Disney Plus. Okay, cool. I forget.
So no worries.
Cool. Okay, Disney Plus.
Hells yes. So other shows that are coming out, Hawkeye is confirmed this week. It's been confirmed. We pretty much knew it by this point that Haley Steinfeld is going to be Kate Bishop. That's the new Hawkeye. So that's awesome. Also, Hawkeye has a hearing aid. Very astute fans have noticed in there. Now, I remember Hawkeye losing his hearing in the West Coast Avengers comic book back in the 80s. and then Counter Earth, I think he regained it again. I don't remember reading that. But he apparently was given back his hearing. I think that's dumb. Saying I like the idea that he lost his hearing. He only had like 80% hearing, and he had to wear a hearing aid. Otherwise, he couldn't hear properly. So I actually like that. It's like, here's a weakness of this character. Great eyes, horrible ears. Boom, done. I like that, As far as Matt Fraction, he did a run on Hawkeye where he brought in Kate Bishop and all this good stuff. And he brought back the idea that Hawkeye, Clint Barton, had lost his hearing. So awesome. And by fans noticing that Hawkeye has a hearing aid in this, it's going to bring back a lot of that story again, where, you're showing a hero who has to deal with a crippling, it's not an ailment, but basically a handicap. Yeah, disability. You know what I'm saying? That sucks. I know I'm partially hard of hearing myself from my days in the military. Yeah. And it's like one of the worst, most annoying, frustrating things in the world is, what? Having to say that over and over and over again, You guys have gotten used to it. For the most part, you talk loud enough for me to hear when you're addressing me. But a lot of times I just hear it mumble, mumble, mumble. I don't hear my name in that, so it's not me. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? But like it gets frustrating. And I love the idea that we're going to actually have that in here. Mm-hmm. There's also a fully deaf character who was brought into this we've confirmed several characters in here. One of them is Maya Lopez, a character called Echo. She is fully deaf, and she goes out and she fights people with her weapons and whatnot. Regular human being, but she's kind of epic. Okay. She's also, if I remember correctly from the comics, she's half Latina and half Native American. Algonquin Cox, I hope I'm not butchering her name, is at least partially Native American. Mm-hmm. The actress who's going to be playing Echo, which, cool. I'm usually I don't care if somebody's this, that, or the other things. Like if it's Black Panther, have a black person. Say if it's Clint Barton, have a white person. I don't care if they're like Steve Rogers is supposed to be an Irish immigrant. Or the son of Irish immigrants. Mm-hmm. I don't care if they're necessarily Irish. Just make them white. You know what I'm saying? And keep attention to the background, because it's kind of important to those of us who have actually followed the character. If you're an actor, you're acting a role. Granted, I don't want to see some white guy playing a Chinese person and, squinting his eyes. I don't want to see nonsense like that. You know what I'm saying? But it's not going to necessarily kill me if you have a Japanese person playing a Chinese person. You know what I'm saying? Unless it's a noticeable difference, unless you have to actually speak the native language, and it's like, that's Japanese. If you're acting,
or you're butchering the language, and the person. Anyways.
Oh, what's that show that you're watching right now? Transplant, the Canadian television show, where there's a Pakistani guy playing a Syrian, and he can't even speak Arabic.
No, like literally pulls me out of the show every time that guy tries to speak Arabic.
Yeah, and the daughter. She's the worst. The little sister. That's right. The very younger little sister.
Same thing.
Yeah, where I'm just like, okay, this is the worst accent I've ever heard.
At least they're giving them the Syrian accent. So
they're trying.
So that's what they're trying, as opposed to like an Egyptian accent or something like that.
Her accent is nowhere near Syrian. It doesn't even sound Arabic.
Yeah. Anyways, it's just such a mess. So I hate when they do that.
Especially with all the refugees over here who are trying to become actors, a lot of them. Yeah. Why not actually try and hire one of these guys? It's ridiculous. That's ridiculous. But anyway, so with Native Americans, though, I do admit to a little bit of bias there. I would like to see a Native cast as a Native, just because when you talk about representation, nobody is more underrepresented than natives in my viewpoint. There are people who still don't know that Native Americans still exist today. Mm-hmm. Well, natives are still alive? Yeah, we are. So there's that. They're also going to have Willie Crazy Horse Lopez, the swordsman, Clown, a character named Kazi, Yelena Belova, which is, she's a character who's in the Black Widow movie. She's the one wearing all the white. She's known as the other Black Widow. Mm. So she's actually going to be in this. That is very interesting. And also, for the sake of, I'm just putting that out there, hey, wow. And also, Lucky the Pizza Dog.
Okay.
You
What's
gotta read Matt Fraction's run to understand how cute that is.
Okay. Lucky the pizza dog.
Yes, absolutely.
It's a pizza dog. It's a dog that delivers pizza, I'm assuming. And the dog is Lucky.
So the dog's name is Lucky. So, Jimmy Kimmel.
Okay.
Yeah, I really don't. It's not that I don't like this guy. It's just, it's one of those favoritism things. It's part of monopolies. ABC is owned by Disney. So Disney, whenever they're going to release something, they put it through here first. And guess what? Rogue One, there's a prequel coming out. Remember Rogue One?
Yeah.
It's an awesome movie.
It was.
They got a prequel coming out. Diego Luna was on there, and he confirmed that they're actually already filming right now in London. So that means that pre-production is done. They're actually filming scenes now with actors and whatnot in London, which is, wow, this came pretty fast.
Yeah.
That usually takes up to like 6 weeks or so, depending on the film and which locations they have to, shuttle off to each time, plus the problems with the pandemic still existing. And then it's going to go into post-production, and then we can start hoping it's going to come to Disney Plus sometime soon.
We shall see.
Also, Natalie Portman was on Jimmy Kimmel, and she is now training to look like an action figure. That's her exact quote. She's training to look like an action figure.
An action figure. These guys.
Yeah, one of these mini toys that I have. Look like a female action figure.
Okay.
What do you think about that?
I think I know what you think about it.
Well, I think you know where I'm going with this. I've seen a lot of stuff, like the thing with Adele.
Yeah.
There are people who identified with Adele because they're very heavy. And then Adele lost weight. She got healthy. I know there's a lot of people who hate that term, but she got healthy. She started exercising way better. Because, when you're big, your blood vessels don't exactly get bigger. But your body still needs blood.
Yeah.
But now there's more of it to need the blood.
Yeah.
So there's circulation problems, blood clots. There are a lot of problems. So by getting thinner, by actually working out and exercising, you are getting healthier. She did that, and then suddenly a lot of her fan base turned against her.
Yeah.
Wow. So Natalie Portman, one of those older school actors who is not about... I should be able to look any way that I want when doing this, which is a standard that the men go by also, right? Whenever you want a strong-looking character, your Jason Momoa is one of them, right? Oh, we need a strong character. Look for a Momoa-type figure. You don't usually go and look for a Steve Carell figure. You don't usually look for, some skinny guy or some big guy, some big fat guy or something like that. No, you're usually looking for a person who's in shape, right? So likewise, here's Jane Austen, Jane Foster. No, her name is Jane Foster. The character's name is Jane Foster. And in the comic books, when this takes place, I imagine it's going to be the same for the movie. She actually has cancer. So she's going through chemo. So she's got to be thin. But in the movie, when she's playing Thor, she's got to be, boom, she's got to have some muscles, So what do you think about her saying she's training to look like an action figure?
Okay, so when you put it in that context, I'm like, okay, if she's trying to be Thor type, goddess, okay. But like, if we're talking about health, then skinny or fit doesn't always necessarily correlate to healthy.
Fit does not correlate. Skinny, sure. But fit?
Not always. Not always. Because, like, to be healthy, it's to be physically active, but it's also what you're putting in your body, how you're managing your
stress. This is true. You could be starving
that,
yourself.
Right? So, like, I'm looking at it from that context because, like, I know women, I know people who are gym rats. But at the same time, like, they got a whole lot of body issues because of just the way that they're dealing with their body. So, like, from that perspective, I don't always subscribe to the, okay, this person looks a certain way, therefore they are healthy. And yeah, like, when it comes to being big and being health and, like, that whole movement of, like, I'm going to be as big as I want, and that's going to be, like, you can't tell. Of course, nobody can tell you what to do with your body, but, like...
Of course.
there is that movement, right? And I don't 100% subscribe to it either. But I also don't say like, oh, because this person is big, it means they're not healthy or they're not taking care of their body. Because, again, that's not true. I know gym rats who are also big.
You're really just repeating yourself
I
at
know
this point.
I am. But when it comes to Natalie Portman, I didn't think it was going to go there. So if you're saying she's going to be Thor, then yeah, she needs to look the way that Wonder Woman should have looked like.
Exactly. I'm not a fan of the idea that, like, I'm not here to body shame. That's not who I am. You know what I'm saying? At all. But I don't want a heavy-set woman to play Wonder Woman.
But at the same time, I love Voyager. But I've told you so many times, I hate the way that Seven is so tiny and petite, and yet they're trying to tell me that she's super strong, and she can lift, like, pillars and stuff like that, you know? And it's like,
because of her cybernetic implants.
but where? Like, her arm is
It's
like...
nanotech! It's super duper
She
small!
is so effing tiny. Where?
It's nanotech! It's microscopic! And then some!
Anyways, fine, sure.
The next step is picoscopic. Like, there's picotech. It's like, it's impossible. It's not even a thought in our minds. Nanotech is super duper small, so it's like, it'd be like smaller than Scotch tape running along your bones.
Okay. Fine. Maybe Seven is not the best example, but I'm
No,
still
she's
sticking
not.
to that. I'm still sticking to that.
What I'm saying is, if you want to have a strong character, whatever, blah, 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 blah. But, like, if a character looks like... To me, it's no different than, like, if you want to have a Superman character, I don't want some big guy who needs to go back to DDP yoga for a couple of months to be playing Superman. I just don't want that.
You want to believe that this person can actually pick
Yes.
up this rock or all of that.
Or jump off a building or do it. I want to see... Like... I understand there are stunt people, but I don't want to see some person doing combat roles that clearly can't do combat roles in real life. It's just a thing, you know? So, yeah, I want to actually believe. And acting is one of those things where, yeah, sorry. I know that there's the whole thing where, you know, they're making me be bulimic. No, nobody's making you be anorexic. Nobody's making you be bulimic. Yeah. I know that Carrie Fisher struggled with her weight to be Princess Leia. Sorry, but we don't want to see, I don't know, like maybe we could, maybe when she's older, because she was definitely, you know, bigger when she was older and whatnot. But like at the end of the day, if we want to see this in a superhero, because this is what the superhero looks like, whatever. If you want to play a role where you're big, okay, fine. If everybody's okay with it, whatever. I don't have a problem with it if that's part of the thing, but don't have this person be like some super, you know, I am the hero who's going to take everybody down. I can't believe that. That's just something I can't believe. It's not in this particular case. I just don't see that as being a part of representation.
Carrie Fisher's story is a little bit different because when she was Princess Leia, she didn't need to be as petite and tiny as she was.
No, she didn't. She also didn't need to be a drug addict. She didn't need to be a nymphomaniac. She didn't need to have all of these problems, but she did have these problems. She dealt with a lot. She came from a very famous acting family, you know, both parents.
Yeah.
So she was dealing with a lot. It is what it is. I don't disbelieve the things that she's saying, but it was one of those things where it's like, you know, if they wanted you to be thin, there was a reason why they wanted you to be thin. And if you can't make that role, then I guess we need to hire somebody else.
But what I'm saying is from our perspective, we also didn't need Princess Leia to be as petite as she was. Like, it's the difference between Princess Leia being as petite as she was because we have a standard of beauty that we're pushing, and Natalie Portman being fit and strong to be Thor.
Yeah, no doubt. Yeah, I'm here for that. I hear what you're saying. How about this? How about changing men into women? Plastic Man. This is a character that was created in 1941.
Okay.
Another one of those comic companies that DC bought and said, hey, we like your characters. Yoink. So they bought him out through really dirty ways. Anyway, Hollywood Reporter is reporting that it's going to be female-led now. See, originally it was supposed to be written by Amanda Idoko. Now it's being written by Kat Vasco. Cat Vask, there's some really weird reporting. They're like, oh, they want to make it a funny version of Plastic Man. Plastic Man has always been funny. There has never been a time where there's been a serious Plastic Man. You know what I'm saying? Well, aside from when he's a zombie. There was a time when he was a zombie very recent, like a couple weeks ago, and it was really freaking weird. But he's always been a funny character. And it's been this character who was in the mob, and he wound up getting himself pretty much almost killed, but then he, this industrial accident, he turned into Plastic Man, and he wound up becoming a crime fighter now. So, it's, a story of redemption, but he's a little bit crazy because, plastic brain. Anyway, so yeah.
So everything is plastic. Okay.
Everything's plastic. So, yeah, it's always been, like, since 1941. That's older than you and I combined.
Yeah.
And
so they're making him into Plastic Woman.
Well, it seems that way.
Okay.
Because they're saying it's going to be female-led. Well, if it's Plastic Man, then how long before we get the title that's Plastic Woman? And in which case, did anybody ask for this? Is this something that's going to be amazing? And I don't know, is this to offset the idea that Mr. Fantastic is coming out? Which is actually the third stretchy in the Fantastic Four.
Yeah.
The third stretchy person, because first it was Elastic Man, now it's then Plastic Man, and then this, Mr. Fantastic. But I'm shocked by this. Like, why? For what reason? Why are they doing something like this? I don't understand this.
Yeah.
I don't know. Honestly, what do you think about this? Here's a character that's existed, like I said, since the 40s, early 40s, and now just, we're finally going to make a big screen movie about him, and it seems like we're going to do this.
It's a cop-out. It's an easy way to get more representation, more diversity, which is good, but it is the cheaty, easy way out.
Forced.
Yeah.
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 Yeah, this is the weak sort of writing.
They're building on a momentum, right? They're building on that history. So it's like, okay, instead of building it something new and advertising that and creating a following for that idea, that concept, it's like, let's just switch something new. Let's switch it, Yeah,
let's do something that's going to get an uproar.
Yeah.
It's like the thing is, he's never had a movie before. He had a cartoon. He had a cartoon. He had a couple of comic book series that came out and whatnot. He's never really gotten a big screen or even a small screen representation. So it's not like, oh, well, we tried this and it's failed. They're just like, right out of the gate, let's just do this. Yeah. I'm not seeing
We've had this conversation before. Like, as much as I love Harry Potter, I would not want to see a Harriet Potter.
Yeah.
Like, create something new, a new character within that world. Don't change my old character.
Here's something new. Ava DuVernay. She's doing the New Gods for DC.
Yeah.
Well, now she's just been signed on to executive co-produce Naomi. Now, you're not familiar with this character, but this is a black girl who is actually an alien from another, not just another planet, from another universe.
Okay.
Only had a couple comic books out, done by Brian Michael Bendis and David F. Walker, drawn by Jamal Campbell. Basically, it's a character who black isn't her identity. Orphan is actually her identity.
Okay.
Because she's never known her parents. She knows that she was adopted. She always looked to Superman. It's like, he was adopted. I wonder if, and he's special.
Is she human?
I wonder if, no, she's...
From a different planet. Okay.
Yeah. From someplace totally different. So she does, yeah, whatever. Anyway, it's a different planet in a different universe. So anyway, she looks human. Looks like a regular black girl. And now she's here, and she comes to find out, holy crap, I am different. And even my father is actually my adopted father is an alien. My adopted mother is a regular human. And this guy who, I really like and talk to, and this older guy is like my uncle, he's actually an alien also, but different from him. And it's like, wow. And it's a really great story about self-discovery. And again, it's a comic book about an adopted kid who just happens to be black. That's not the main point. And it's like, wow. And now Ava DuVernay is going to direct. I believe this is coming to the small screen. So it's coming to television, HBO Max.
That sounds actually very exciting.
Yeah. It actually is. She's a really amazing character. I'm really looking forward to seeing this. And her co-executive producer is Jill Blankenship, who co-executive or who executive produced the CW's Arrow television series. Green Arrow.
Yeah, Ava DuVernay seems to be good in doing eccentric stories.
Well, to be honest, I don't know what she's good at yet. Mm-hmm. Because the only what does she have out? She's got that Wrinkle in Time, which I didn't like.
I liked.
Which you liked.
Yeah.
So boom. Now we're gonna see what else can she do. See, here's one of the things that bugs me a little bit is that the big thing is she's supposed to be putting out this New Gods. We have yet to see what this is going to be about. We have yet to see if this is going to be any good. Mm-hmm. And DC has this thing where they will put a lot of trust in somebody and just say, just go.
Yeah.
And the example I'm going to bring up is Zack Snyder.
Yeah.
So Zack Snyder just like, go! Do everything you want to do! Roar!
Yeah.
And then they've got like a bunch of movies that are about to come out. And then this first movie that finally comes out, like, oh, he's going to be doing this, he's going to be doing this, he's going to be doing this, and he's going to be doing this. And it's like, really? But then the movie comes out, it's like, well, we like 300, maybe we'll like this. But then this movie comes out, we're like, this was a little bit weird. It wasn't bad per se, but it was a little bit weird. And then that was Man of Steel. And then Batman vs. Superman comes out, we're like, we don't like this.
Yeah. Ava DuVernay is...
The vast overmajority of people,
yeah.
We don't like this. But we already know we've got all these other movies that are already coming out now because he was given this. So now they're doing the exact same thing with Ava DuVernay. And it's like, we don't know if we're going to like New Gods.
Slow down.
Yeah.
Get to know her.
Yeah.
Yeah. She is Oprah's protege.
Prodigy?
Yeah, prodigy. So maybe that has something to do with it. I don't know. I've seen her work in Wrinkle in Time, and I forget the name, the story of the five.
The New York Five.
Yeah. So it's like, that kind of work, like, it was really good. Both of them were good. So I feel like at least with the story in Naomi, it kind of is within that realm. Because it is sci-fi, it is, at least a character that looks black.
I'm hoping so.
Identity, exploring identity, all of that.
Yeah. Painkiller is going to be a spin-off from Black Lightning. We talked about that coming out.
Yeah.
So it's going to be about a black character. And Wonder Girl, a Latina version coming out. So it looks like there's, we just talked about that last week. So it looks like there's going to be some diversity come out. Here's the interesting part. Netflix. Mm-hmm. The biggest property Netflix has, the biggest region is in the U.S.
Yeah.
You know what the largest one after that is? It's Brazil.
Okay.
After that, UK, then Mexico, then France, then Canada.
Dang. Okay.
Yeah, that's
like what, number 6?
That's how small we are, right?
Yeah.
Not a lot of population, whatever it is, what it is.
We don't get all the good stuff.
Oh, you're 100% correct. But Netflix has been putting out a lot of representation in these different, areas. So no matter where you go in the world, if you have Netflix for your region, there's going to be stuff catered towards you. And Warner Brothers is really pushing that. Now, I have a problem with this, but it might not, you might not know where I'm going with this, but you're going to understand it once I say it.
Okay.
More representation to penetrate these markets. Andy Forssell, he's the guy who's doing the press release about this, says the plan is to penetrate 190 countries.
Yeah.
Here's where I have the problem. The question is, how quickly can we do it? And that's where he lost me. Why are you rushing it? Can you do anything good if you rush it?
But in capitalism, you got to compete with everybody else. So it's like, depends on how fast you can do this.
That's what's, and you're right. I don't want to turn this into a capitalistic argument also. I'm simply looking at it as, we want to make money.
Of course.
So, you know what? If we just slap an Indian person in here, we can, celebrate India
I see.
then boom, boom, boom.
Okay.
It's like, but But is there going to be a reason for her to be Indian? Is it going to incorporate her culture? Is it actually going to do something?
Yeah.
Or is it just going to be, yeah, it's an Indian face, who cares?
I see what you mean. I know, I was thinking about it from a different perspective. I've been seeing a lot more of like Arabic movies and Arabic TV shows and even like old stuff that I grew up with. And I was showing it to my mom. Like, I didn't know Netflix had this stuff. So like from that perspective, yeah. I mean, like they're taking things that already exist and buying it and adding it into their streaming service. And
yeah, but like the Turkish show Etrigan,
yeah,
you loved that.
I love that show.
You know, and it does give a good representation of Turkey. You know what I'm saying? And Netflix is doing it right. It's a reason why Netflix is the biggest streaming service that there is.
Yeah.
Because they take their time, their originals and whatnot.
I don't think that is their show. They buy it.
Yeah, they buy it.
Yeah.
What I'm saying is, yeah, they're buying shows and putting them there, and then they're originals. They're actually taking time and giving the proper representation.
Yeah.
Not just, let's just
fake.
slap a black face on this and we're fine. You know what I'm saying? It actually matters. It's stories that these people across the world actually care about.
Exactly,
You know? As opposed to, yeah, let's just streamline this stuff, which seems to be Warner Brothers' plan, which I think is a failed plan.
Yeah.
Okay, unfortunately, I've got one other thing with racist here. Apparently, China is calling Monster Hunter racist. So there's this movie, Monster Hunter. It's based off a video game, and these two characters are driving in a car, apparently, which is odd. I thought Monster Hunter was a fantasy game back in the day with dragons and wagons, but okay, whatever. These guys are in a car, and there's a white character and a Chinese character, and the Chinese character says, and I don't know what the context of this is, just this is all that's been reported. They said, hey, he points to his knees. He says, you know what kind of knees these are? The white guy says, what kind of knees are these? And the Chinese character says, Chinese. Really dumb joke.
Yeah.
It's kind of like a dad joke.
Or like a middle schooler's joke.
Yeah. Yeah. There's the playground saying that they're trying to reference this to, that reporters are trying to reference this to. Chinese, Japanese, dirty knees, look at these. And look at these, they usually pull a shirt out like boobies.
Oh, okay.
All right, so, but you what is it? I forget what it is. Anyway, you change your eyes. Like,
Yeah.
I think it's up for Chinese, down for Japanese. I don't know. I don't remember. It was freaking forever since we played this stupid game when we were kids.
Yeah.
And then you say, dirty knees, and then look at these, and you hold out your shirt like they're boobs. It's literally just words that you're saying to get to the point where you can, hey, look, here's the really messed up part. I'm showing boobies because, sex, ooh, right? It's something that you do in whatever third grade or whatever second, third grade when women start developing breasts. It has nothing to do with Chinese people, has nothing to do with Japanese people, has nothing to do with knees being dirty. Like, none of that stuff means anything. It's literally just words that you say to rhyme and then, look, boobies.
So it's the Chinese government that has a problem with this.
Yeah. And they said, that's it, take these movies out. And right now, as of the time of this reporting, 0.7% of the movies, of that movie is still being played in theaters. So like around theaters, 0.7%, so less than 1% of the movie theaters in China are playing this movie right now. Yeah. If there was a huge outcry of a lot of people, mind you, this is China, who people are boycotting because of the grounds and the slave camps and the torture and what is it, the mind war, the stuff with Mulan. They're saying, what is it, the brainwashing camps. You know what I'm saying? Re-education, there we go, the re-education camps for the Uyghurs. Camps
as well, yeah.
Labor camps, all of that stuff, yeah. We have a problem with China, but we hear racism, and the extreme liberals right away jump into it. Racist! I've heard my superhero. It's like somebody saying Shazam and turning into Captain Marvel. No, in this particular case, racism. Aha! White Knight! And then they go running out and start screaming. It doesn't matter who calls it. It doesn't matter. The Chinese government says, hey, me no likey. And then they shut everything down. And all these different businesses, the companies, they say, yes, sir. And they snap a salute, and they do what they're bid.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's racism or not to have that. I think it's a stupid joke. It's whatever. It's a childish joke. It's like a fart joke to me.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Fart jokes, you give a little snicker, you're like, and then you move on. You try to forget the joke. You know?
I don't know the history and the context, so I don't know. Yeah.
Yeah. So maybe it is racist. Honestly, I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
But I look at it as when the Chinese government says jump and everybody jumps and then says, was that high enough?
Yeah.
As opposed to, like they know to just jump. They know that it's so ingrained that they already know how high to jump. So these
China
kind of things
is a
bother me.
superpower now.
Yeah.
And like even when it comes to individuals.
An economic superpower.
Yeah. So yeah, I've seen that happen over and over again. People try to stand up to them and it's like, your paycheck, are you sure you want to do this? And then they back out. Or they back down.
Yeah, big time. Disney did that.
Yeah.
They're still trying to kiss up to China just a little bit.
Yeah.
Even after the Milan thing.
Mm-hmm.
But they're just like, oh, you know what? This has nothing to do with you, but I don't like the way that you responded, so we're not going to advertise your stuff. Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
And you have to do a whole lot of groveling before.
You know, AMC is owned by a Chinese company, and the Chinese government was behind them when they said, oh yeah, Universal Pictures, guess what?
Yeah, bye-bye.
Yeah, we have to get to a point where we finally say enough is enough. What do you call it? You know I'm not a Trump fan at all. Yeah. Just reminding the people out there.
Oh, what happened?
Well, no, one of the things that those people liked about Donald Trump was he says, you want to know how you talk to China? I'll tell you how to talk to China. You say, hey, mother effer. And the people cheer like crazy over that.
Yeah.
I'm not here to say a person's good or bad. I am here to say that Trump is a bad person. He's a bad human being. But I'm also willing to say when, even a bad person can say something right. I believe that's right.
I know. But like in his foreign policy, in his relations with China, was he actually 100% committed to that sentiment?
100% not.
Sometimes he wasn't, but other times he wasn't.
Okay, fine. 80% not. 85% not. He was happy when his daughter got a whole bunch of license that she's been waiting for 10 years to get, and all of a sudden fast-tracked that. So yeah, no, 100%. But it's the idea, like I said, it's the idea that people are looking for that person.
Like, it's so weird. Sorry, I'm stuck on Trump. Remember?
Finish it up quick, please.
At the beginning of COVID, he was like, oh, they're handling it well. But then at the same time, he's calling the China virus and the Wuhan virus. Like, it's like, he could be tough in the right way.
Let's stick with the comic book stuff.
Fine. Comic book stuff.
Anyway, so moving on, we're almost done. David Ramsey. He has been signed on to direct 5 episodes in the CW verse. David Ramsey, you don't know the character, but he plays this character called John Diggle. Mm-hmm. And he's directed, I think, 2 episodes before the report said. But he plays this character called John Diggle. He was, he's the black guy who used to hang out with Arrow. Yeah. I know you've seen him.
Yeah, I've seen him.
Okay, cool. I've actually got the toy around here somewhere. I think I put him away. But I got the figure around here someplace. Anyway, he's not only going to direct, because he's going to be directing, here's the thing, Legends of Tomorrow, 1 episode of Legends of Tomorrow, 1 episode of Superman and Lois, 1 episode of Supergirl, 1 episode of The Flash, and 1 episode of Batwoman.
Okay.
1 episode of each.
Mm-hmm.
Every year, the CW verse, the CW TV shows, they put out a combined effort thing. Mm-hmm. Last year, I think, was Crisis on Infinite Earths. They always do something where all 5 of the properties will cross over with each other.
Yeah.
At some point, right? And I think that that's what he's been signed on to direct. So, interesting. But what gets really interesting is, when he was, I think he directed the final episode of Arrow, in which his character, Andy Diggle, he walked up and saw something green on the ground, and he picked it up, and it was a Green Lantern ring. Because they always said, hey, turn him into a Jon Stewart, making air quotes now, Jon Stewart type character, because, we want him to be the Black Green Lantern, because he looks like he should be a Green Lantern. So, boom. So in that final episode, for fan service, he did that scene really quick. Well, when he's directing these 5 episodes, he's also been signed up to play a mystery character.
It's going to be that.
Probably going to be that.
At least I hope so, yeah.
I'm hoping so also. Like, we're hoping that he does make a return as Andy Diggle. And if he does, you got to keep in continuity that he's got that ring. So how cool would it be?
Yeah. I actually liked his character. I mean, I haven't seen the show in forever, but like...
Yeah, you only watched like the first 1 or 2 seasons, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I only watched the first 2 seasons myself.
Yeah.
The 3rd season, I didn't like it because the Zack Snyder wound up screwing everything up by taking away the Suicide Squad and everything.
Yeah.
And yes, that was his call. And the last thing we got is, second from last thing, excuse me, Peter Dinklage. That's the short guy Tyrion Lannister from Game of Thrones.
Yep.
Yes. He has been signed on to portray the Toxic Avenger. This is a Trauma Entertainment property that has been licensed out. The Toxic Avenger is a character who, in New Jersey, he was bullied by some people, whatever, and he got dropped in some toxic waste, and he came back as the Toxic Avenger, and he took a mop, and he would beat up all the bad guys. It was a really campy movie.
Okay.
It is huge in Jersey, huge in a bunch of other places also, but it's just a silly, campy, really like a lot of body horror in it. Like, I think that was the movie where in the one scene they ran over the kid and then backed up over his head.
Didn't I watch it with you?
No, you did not. I would not put you through that. I know that you couldn't handle some of those scenes. But yeah, there was some wicked stuff like that happening. You could watch like 150 of the Troma movies, that's how many they've made, for free on YouTube. I'm pretty sure you can watch one of the, maybe the original Toxic Avenger on there too. I'm not sure. But anyway, he's a cult classic character. And now Peter Dinklage is going to be playing him. Not sure how that's going to work, but okay. Let's do it.
Are you excited about it at least or no?
I don't know if he's going to be able to play this character. Like, I don't know if I want... Like, Toxie, as we call him, Toxic Avenger, he's this huge character. Like, he's taller than me. He's huge.
Okay.
So now he's going to be, like, what, this little guy? Oh, it's really weird. Like, how... I don't know. Whatever. It's going to be what it is. I hope it doesn't sound rude, but I think that he'd be great for playing Chucky. The little doll, so like, or maybe he should be on Willow. They're remaking that. We talked about it, right? Like, I don't know. Like, maybe they're gonna do it. And it's gonna be weird. Totally cool. Like we saw in the Avengers, the final 2 Avengers movie. He was this super huge giant, which was like, wow, how'd they do that? So are they gonna do that here also? I don't know. But like on the outset, when you hear it, it's like that. How's that gonna work? Yeah. I'm very curious how it is going to work, though. It might be amazing. I'm hoping. He's a hell of an actor.
Okay, last point.
Last point. Last thing is Fortnite. The video game Fortnite. The Mandalorian and the Child are going to be in it. Yeah, they're always bringing in people all the time.
Oh, I didn't know that. Okay.
Yeah, so they're going to bring in it's going to be cartoonized, you know what I'm saying? But you can actually play the Mandalorian skin. It's not going to be able to do anything. It's just a skin.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, and then you can buy, I think they call it back bling. So backpacks that look like that. It's all about how you look when you go out and you beat up the other guys in craft and whatever you're going to do and kill people. So the backpack is actually going to have the Child. So you can have Din Djarin running around, beating people up, shooting people and digging things up. And you're going to be looking at Grogu. It's Yiddle. It's freaking Yiddle. Yeah, anyway, bang. That's a thing.
Okay.
Also, Jon Favreau. You remember the episode where a couple episodes ago where the Baby Yoda Yiddle was stealing some cookies? Those little blue cookies. Remember he stole from that kid when he was in the class?
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Okay. So those are basically, they look like macaroons. Well, there's this cooking show on YouTube called Binging with Babish. And he had Jon Favreau on, and they made little blue macaroons.
Wow, okay.
And that's what I wanted to end this episode on.
Delicious cookies.
Num num.
Num num. Okay.
Chicken nuggets would have been better, but hey, at least we got something out of this. Guys, I will talk to all of y'all later. There's a couple people out there like Silver Surfer and whatnot saying that they like this new setup.
Okay.
With you
I'll
and
keep
me.
coming back.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Is that a threat?
Sure.
Anyway. So, guys, this is going to be the final episode that I do in full for the sake of YouTube. Okay? I know there's like less than 200 people who still watch it on YouTube. I can see it's not exactly a mountain, but it's a very steady hill of people climbing to watch the you're crying. This very steady hill of people listening to the podcast, and this is meant to be in podcast form. And I don't have the voice in my ear anymore telling me, no, keep it in video format. It's gonna be better in video format. No, not enough people are watching it in full length on the video form, which means it's bringing down the algorithm on YouTube. So my channel looks like I've got a long show that nobody watches the whole thing of. So they just kind of skip around. Meanwhile, that's not the way that the algorithm works on the podcast format. So I can actually have people, you can skip around on the podcast, but I can see how many minutes are listened to. I can see how many times the episode is checked, what the difference is, but it only affects me that people are actually downloading the podcast. So, or, listening to it, whatever. So this is going to be the last time it's going to be shown on YouTube in its entirety. I will probably still do clips here and there, but yeah, bang.
We'll stay on the podcast though.
Yeah, it is meant to be a podcast, and the podcasts are free to download. Most of you guys already know that, but for the stragglers, it's free to download wherever you find your podcast. I'm on Apple. I'm on Spotify with Joe Rogan. Hey, I'm all over iHeartRadio, iTunes, you name it, I'm there. So we're there.
Mm-hmm.
We're there.
Excuse me. Yes.
Whoa, hey, I'm the one who fixed it. This is just like the argument before. I'm the one who's acknowledging I made a mistake, and you're marching against me. What the hell is this? Anyway, guys, we'll talk to all y'all later. What are we going to do for the thumbnail?
You don't want to tell them? Okay, fine. I'm going to be Shuri.
That's right. You're going to be Shuri.
Yeah.
I'm going to come at you with the vaccination.
Yeah, I got like my African head wrap, so.
That's right. And you know why you get to be Shuri?
Because I'm black.
Because you're black. All right, talk to you guys later. This is a reference from last episode. Talk to you guys later. Love, peace, and air greets. Professor Bill and Warda, Comic Book University. Class dismissed. Ooh, that was a good one. You did. You nailed it. Yeah. High five. And yet we pound.